Most stories told in verse and rhyme begin with once upon a time, or even worse, they often say, in a land far, far away. But this story, some way, somehow, I'm pleased to say, starts here and now. Crown Heights Castle is the scene, home to one vile, wicked queen. She's grouchy, rude, and oh so snooty, and jealous of dear Snow White's beauty. And I'm not surprised. Last time I checked, the queen was uglier than Shrek. Tucked away inside her lair, you'll never guess what she kept there. A magic mirror, although I hear you can pick one up yourself at IKEA. Because the queen was awfully vain, she'd need the mirror to explain that she is fairest of them all, and every morning she would call, "Mirror in a frame of oak, am I the belle of Basingstoke? Mirror, tell me you agree that no one's prettier than me." "Afraid not, love," the mirror replied. "You what?" the ill-tempered queen cried. "Your stepdaughter with eyes of blue is far more beautiful than you. I myself am quite a fan and follow her on Instagram." Slamming down her can of Sprite, the queen cried out, "I'll kill Snow White!" Although that does seem rather gory, so someone else can do it for me. She gave her huntsman the instruction to carry out Snow White's destruction, though thankfully he's Snow White's bud and cannot stand the sight of blood. "Snowy, you must run away, far from here without delay." She packed her bags and off went Snow, looking for a place to go. She camped on Wote Street, which was chilly. Besides, there's that statue that looks rather silly. Next she tried the Apollo Hotel, hoping it was the place she could dwell. But sadly, every room was booked in each hotel that Snow White looked. This caused the poor girl great frustration. "I know, I'll try the railway station and travel anywhere I like." But of course the drivers were all on strike. Till finally she journeyed on, along a path winding and long. She raised her head and looked around, and Basingstoke Canal she found. The young girl stopped and started grinning at the sight of 7 swans a-swimming. The swans were lovable and sweet, and Snow White they were pleased to meet. On learning why she ran from home, they couldn't leave her on her own. "Stay with us at the canal," to which Snow White replied, "I shall." How she spoke to swans, who knows? It's just the way the story goes. So from then on, she lived afloat inside a wood-top narrow boat, with 7 swans safe from the queen, who was meanwhile plotting an evil scheme. Unfortunately, due to a blip, the magic mirror let it slip that fair Snow White is still alive, because the huntsman let the girl survive. This news I'm sure I need not tell, the queen did not take very well. "I'll see that Snow White ends up dead, but first I'd best get out of bed." The queen popped on her dressing gown and ventured to the top of town. Then, with a foul look on her face, she headed for the marketplace and bought an apple red and ripe. Let's hope this blocks the girl's windpipe. But that might fail, so what I'll do is dip it in some poison too. Then, wasting no more precious time, she left to carry out the crime. But first, to not be recognised, she made herself a quick disguise. Then off to the canal she went, and putting on a fake accent, she said, "Sweet girl, fancy a bite?" and passed the apple to Snow White. Next thing, the girl was on the floor. "I'm fairest in the land once more. With one bite of that apple red, the slimy girl has dropped down dead." But while the queen was mid-rejoice, she heard a most familiar voice. "You must think that I'm far from wise to fall for such a cheap disguise. I knew it was you all along. My cleverness has proved you wrong. I didn't really take a bite, so face it, hun, I win this fight." The swans came swimming over to help. "Away from me," the old queen yelped. They pecked her with their pointy beaks, which caused the queen to scream and shriek, then hissed her, amongst other things, and shooed her with their mighty wings. The queen ran off and started heading to the nearby town of Reading. And with her lesson finally learned, she promised never to return. And only once did she break that rule, for the Cheese and Chili Festival. But otherwise she stayed away, And thankfully, I'm glad to say that Snow White wears the royal crown. To her, all Basingstoke bow down. She ruled the town with fun and laughter, and all lived pretty sweet thereafter.